How's it going, guys? Welcome to Out of Bounds. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here for 30 minutes of sports talk, and I really do appreciate that. This whole week, I've been feeling a little under the weather. Been feeling a little garbage, but like the consummate professional I am, I saddled up next to the golden microphone, and we are going to do it big. We shall. Today's show, packed as always. Never put together a bad show. Can't do it. Immune to it. We're doing our NBA preview, like I promised last week. We're doing the MLS Minute, 2 playoff games on Wednesday night. And we're also talking winners. Winner, chicken dinner. I expect the NBA preview to last a little while, so that's why we are only having a couple topics on the show. If you're listening on the podcast version, don't forget there is a simulcast version, a video version on YouTube, on my YouTube channel if you want to have some visuals too. We do graphics, we do some B-roll, some video of what we're talking about to add to the senses, add to the sense of pleasure. And if you're watching on YouTube and want to listen to just the audio because you can't stand my face, go over to iTunes, search my name, James Skrmetta, or go to my website, jamesskrmetta.com, where you can find absolutely everything that I do in this thing we call life. Now, let's do the NBA preview. Little known fact about me. I have never played a game of organized basketball in my entire life. I've played intramurals is probably the closest I've come to an actual organized basketball game with real fouls, with real referees. That's it. I've played pickup games with my friends, shot in the driveway, stuff like that. For some reason, just never played basketball. But for some reason, when it comes to predicting things and kind of I'm some kind of weird basketball savant, I would believe. It all started a few years ago. It's a long story, but I'll shorten it for you. And it's going to sound insane. I'm going to start off with that. It's going to sound absolutely insane. A few years ago, I was at a bar with a group of friends, and I had maybe had, half a beer, as you do. And this is back when I used to go to the bar, just drink half a beer and leave. So I was drinking half a beer, and I said, you know what? I've got a thought. We were all sitting there. It was during basketball season. There was late night basketball was on. And I said, you know what? I don't think Kevin Durant is in the top 10 players that I would build a team around. I said, I think Russell Westbrook's better, and then I named 10 other people. And you would have thought that I had started just talking about everybody's mama or something. Everyone was screaming at me. Everyone just hated me. They were just saying, "Oh, you're an idiot. Kevin Durant's the best player in the league. He's better than LeBron. He's the greatest. Oklahoma City's the greatest. Blah 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 blah." I mean, they were just pouring drinks on me. They were spitting in my face. Women were just spitting in my face. And I took my lumps. I said, "Well, all the greatest have been cast out. They used to think the world was flat." So, anyways, that same year, I believe, is when LeBron slapped around the Thunder in the finals. So, ever since then, everything that I've done has been tied to LeBron James. He's kind of like my reverse Horcrux. As long as he's around, I have my power, my supernatural power. Predicting finals. Whenever the Heat beat the Spurs with Ray Allen's Game 6 heroics, I said that was going to happen. In Game 6, I was like, nah, he's going to win it. Don't worry about it. He's going to win it. Next thing I know, Ray Allen turns into the literal form of Jesus Shuttleworth and saves me and LeBron. What happened to Kevin Durant? He gets injured. Russell Westbrook proves that he's the best player on the team, just like I said. This is way before Russell Westbrook was famous. Okay? I kept saying they shouldn't have traded James Harden. They should have traded Westbrook because the Thunder can't win with both of them. What happens? Bam. Harden turns into some superstar. Westbrook's better than Durant. Durant gets hurt. People are saying Durant's not that good. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't have the winner's instinct. Consistently gets dominated by LeBron. LeBron starts winning rings. Everything's coming up me. So, that's how I'm going to preface this NBA preview with what I say probably is going to happen. All right? So here we go. NBA preview. I'll do it this way. I'm going to do the 8 seeds of each conference in the playoffs. And then I'm going to do the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Championship, and then the finals winner. So here we go. Sounds long, but it won't be long. We'll start with the East. The East is such a grab bag. It's crazy. People don't forget it, but the West is stacked. Like, picking playoff teams for the West is fun because you're picking these great teams. Like, oh, they can't miss, they can't miss, they can't miss. And the East is like, I don't want to pick these teams. I don't want to pick Boston, you know? But here's the East. I have Cleveland in the 1 seed, which probably is my least confident pick because Cleveland coasts. They just coast. That's what they're all about. LeBron will take a couple weeks off in the middle of the season. Kyrie might take a couple weeks off. Kevin Love is just losing weight faster than anyone. Can someone get me Kevin Love's diet? My man has honestly lost about at least 100 pounds. And he's like Jared from Subway without the bad touch. I mean, can someone call Kevin Love and tell him to quit losing weight? I mean, he looks like Kyle Korver. Like, this guy came into the league as kind of a pudgy white Charles Barkley, and now he's like a white Sean Bradley. I don't know what he's eating or what he's not eating, I guess. But I have Cleveland at 1 because I think they're so good, and LeBron is so good. It's really crazy to think about. LeBron's been in the league for like 13 years. You know, I keep thinking he's like 25. He's 31. So I'm worried that he might take even more time off and pull a Spurs and whatever. But I have them at 1. Number 2, the Wizards. Love the Wizards this year. I think John Wall is turning into a true superstar player. And they were good last year. I think they can be the second best team in the East. 3, I have the Raptors just because of Drake. I think their basketball team is pretty good too, and mostly because Drake has the Midas touch. And whatever he does, can't lose. Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, Drake supports this team and they're 8th in the East. Nah. If Drake supports them, they're probably going to be awesome. Drake's been wearing turtlenecks to all the games, and I'm going to be super jealous. 4, the Bulls. I think the Bulls are better without Derrick Rose, personally. I think Derrick Rose has actually kind of ruined that franchise. I'll tell you why. They put all this money in Derrick Rose, right? And they build this team around Derrick Rose. And he doesn't play that much because he's always hurt. If they didn't have Derrick Rose and they could spend the Derrick Rose money on other players, that team would be awesome. You know, Thibodeau, when he was in Chicago, had the challenge of every year trying to field a championship team without the best player. Imagine any other team. Like, let's just take the Rockets, for example. Let's take the Rockets. And every year James Harden gets hurt. And he plays like half the season, max. Well, the Rockets are going to be worse. Like, they're going to have unreal expectations because every year they're walking into the season with that superstar. Then he gets hurt, so the coach has to kind of maneuver things around. Like, the Bulls have been so competitive without a good player. They have had to just pull people out of nowhere to try and build these teams. And I think when they get Derrick Rose out of the way, when he's out of the picture, they're better because they can focus on what they're doing. They can play defense. Well, this is how they used to do it. Like with Hoiberg, it could be different. But with Thibodeau, they'd come in, they'd play defense, they'd get nasty. Jakeem Noah could kind of do what he wanted. Jimmy Butler could do what he wanted. And the Bulls were better, in my opinion. With Derrick Rose, I don't know. Unless Derrick Rose plays a full season of like MVP caliber basketball, then I think the Bulls would be better without him and using that money and using those resources for other players. I think Jimmy Butler's incredible. He's one of my favorite players in the league. But the Bulls will be good. They will be competitive. I'm interested to see how good Hoiberg can coach. But they will be number 5. Number 5, the Miami Heat. The Heat have gotten better. They've gotten better, and they're competitive. Okay, when they lost LeBron, it was one of those deals where they had to build something back. I think they've built it back. Maybe not a championship team, but they've built something that they can win with. Biggest thing is Dwayne Wade can't carry a team anymore. He's like Kobe Bryant. It just physically can't happen. He can't go out there every single night and expect Dwayne Wade to win these games for you. You know, will Justice Winslow turn something around? Hassan Whiteside, all these other players? Maybe. But the East is so bad, and I mean it is awful, that I think Miami could get in that 5 spot, maybe make a run. So I got them at 5. 6, the Bucks. Such a fun team to watch. I love this team. The Greek Freak, I mean, Jason Kidd might be the smartest man on earth, leaving the train wreck in Brooklyn and going to Milwaukee. Milwaukee at 6. 7. Originally, I had Orlando Magic at the 7th spot. But then when I filled out my whole thing, I was like, oh, I don't have Atlanta in here. And they were the 1 seed last year. I can't not have the 1 I can't have them all out of the playoffs. Even though I don't think Atlanta's, just like last year, I didn't give them any credit. Never thought they were that good. And they proved me wrong all year. So I had to put them in here somewhere. They're at 7. That could come back to bite me in the butt or make me look like a genius. Number 8, Boston. Brad Stevens is probably my favorite coach, maybe in sports. Loved him at Butler. Love him in Boston. He's going to figure things out. He's going to get this team into playoff contention, and you give him some stars, Brad Stevens can do big things. That's the East. West. So many good teams. Number 1, Houston Rockets. The Rockets have, this is what I look for in teams. The ability to score, and they certainly have that with James Harden, and a big man with Dwight Howard, and they don't have a target on their back like the Warriors do. Warriors are probably the best team in basketball. You know, it's hard to win a championship and still be the best team in basketball. You lose pieces, stuff happens. They've pretty much stayed the exact same. Maybe even gotten better. But they have the target on their back. Every place they go, the stadium's going to be bumping, the stadium's going to be rocking. They're going to be that's tough. It's really hard to repeat success in professional sports. So that's why I had them taking a step back. Rockets 1, Warriors 2, Spurs 3, because the Spurs love to not play their players. I know the NBA schedule is trying to kind of get away from back-to-back games to help out teams like the Spurs because the Adam Silver doesn't want the Spurs to field a team of 5 substitutes like they did all last year. So, but I still think they rest a lot of people. They rest Tim Duncan. They rest all these people. So I'm going to say them at 3. Clippers at 4. Clippers are good, but I don't know if I believe in what they have going on. I don't know if I believe in the DeAndre Jordan and Chris Paul. They're good, but there's something lacking there. I don't know if they can win like the other teams that I have above them. 5, the Thunder. Only reason I have them that low is because new coach. You know, big change for Billy Donovan to go from college to the pros. The Durant-Westbrook thing. If one of them goes down, the team struggles mightily. Too many variables for me to put them at like 1 or 2. So I have them at 5. 6 is the Pelicans. Anthony Davis, I think, is the second best player in we'll say third best player in the NBA behind LeBron and Steph Curry. If he can take a step forward and he can take control of these games like he did last year, the team is good enough around him to win games. The NBA is a star league. If you have a star, you can win. If you have a star, you can win games. Look, LeBron's entire career has just been him winning games by himself. That's why I have the Pels at 6. 7 is Dallas. 8 is Memphis. Now, playoffs. Western Conference Championship, Thunder versus Warriors. I have the Thunder being healthy. Kevin Durant's playing for a free agent year, basically, which matters. It matters. It really does, because he has the ability to move anywhere he wants to in the nation. I'm not saying he's leaving for sure, but I'm saying he has an extra, I have to play. If I play really well, I can make some serious cash. I can make my career do anything I want it to. So he's been playing with some extra oomph. And if they are healthy, by chance, they really will be a really good team. And they really will be able to compete with the Rockets, the Warriors, or Spurs. The only reason I have them at 5 is because I don't know. There's too many variables. Will they be healthy? Will Billy Donovan be a good coach? But if those come together, they, and my prediction, will be the Western Conference champions, beating the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. East. Cleveland and Washington, Eastern Conference Championship. Cleveland goes to the finals. It's amazing when you look at LeBron. I mean, he's been to 5 straight finals? Maybe 6. I had to look at it. 5 straight finals. The guy it's like a free ticket, you know? Even if I told you that you could build a team with Anthony Davis, LeBron, even though LeBron's 31, take LeBron, because for the next 4 years, you're guaranteeing yourself a guaranteed shot at the Eastern Conference Championship. And most coaches would gladly take that. So I have Cleveland versus Oklahoma City in the finals. Kevin Durant can't beat LeBron. Can't happen. And Cleveland finally gets their championship. LeBron gets his championship. And his career, that is the peak of his career, right? And then he slowly gets older, and we see a different LeBron. He reaches the biggest milestone that he's ever wanted to do, brings his hometown a title. Drew Carey rejoices. Now, that was the NBA preview. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments where I was right, where I was wrong, and I'm always down for a conversation. Now, the MLS Minute, the playoffs are here. Play my music, please. Thank you. Playoffs are here. First, 2 games of the MLS playoffs kicked off Wednesday night, and in true MLS fashion, we had 2 games, 8 goals. What else did you expect from the MLS? First up, DC United advanced to the next round with a win against New England Revolution, 2-1. Goals from Chris Pontius and Chris Rolfe squandered the goal of the year from Juan Agudelo. An overhead bicycle kick wiped away. Sad days indeed. Next, the night game. Perhaps the craziest first half, or craziest half hour in the MLS season. The LA Galaxy and Seattle Sounders combined for 4 goals in 22 minutes. It broke down like this. Clint Dempsey in the 5th minute to put Seattle up 1-0. Sebastian Letget answers just 60 seconds later. Nelson Valdez waited 6 minutes to put Seattle up 2-1 in the 12th. Gayesi Zardes tied the game in the 22nd minute. Woo! So 2-2 in the 22nd minute, 4 goals. They rotated perfectly. Seattle, LA, Seattle, LA. Then, all the way in the 73rd minute, Eric Freeberg nailed the game winner to destroy the LA Galaxy's star-studded hopes of a title and sent Seattle to the next round. Not what LA had in mind, bringing in Steven Gerrard, Giovanni Santos, Robbie Keane, all these people playing very well, and they get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. LA fans cannot be happy, and Seattle is coming together at the perfect time of the year. We've done this a lot, the MLS Minute, and we've had weeks where Seattle just didn't look good. Dempsey wasn't playing well, but they're playing really well right now and could definitely come out of the West. Now, winners. Last week we won 7 games, lost 1, went 7-1. 7-1 on the year. We are 17-9 in college. We have had 2 losing weeks in college. Week 2, week 3. NFL we're 23-13, and last week we went 4-1. The 2 previous weeks we went 2-3 in both of them. So, what I'm telling you is bet what I'm telling you. Bet what I'm saying. Don't do anything dumb. Just put like $50 on each game and enjoy the hundreds of dollars you win every week. Here we go. Oh, we're on great time today. We're on great time. We might get out here a little shorter on our Friday. Nothing wrong with that. It's a holiday weekend, you know. Hey, don't do anything crazy on Halloween. Now, let me just say this real quick. I hate to get off on a subject, but do any of y'all really believe that there's drug dealers handing out free candy to kids? I keep seeing this on CBS and NBC and all these places. They're like, oh, check your kids' candy. They might be ecstasy and cocaine in their bags. And I'm just imagining some drug dealer getting dressed up like a pirate or something, sitting by his front door, turning his porch light on, and then every time a kid knocks at his door, the drug dealer scurries out with a plate full of cocaine and ecstasy. Yeah, here you go, kids. Have some of my thousands. No, don't worry about paying me. I just want to see y'all trip out a little bit. It just brings me. It's like a Robin Hood. I don't know, man. I don't have kids, so I don't know. I don't know how prevalent this is. But it's just hard for me to believe that there's some Robin Hood drug dealers getting the whole neighborhood high on their dollar. I can't get my friends to buy shots at the bar, much less give me free drugs. Not that I would take them, of course. But I'm saying, I mean, you know, imagine if that was beer. Imagine if it was something a lot less, dangerous, I guess. Imagine if you just went knock knock and some guy's just handing out 12 packs. He'd be the most favorite house on the street. Oh yeah, don't worry, and that's a lot less money. 12-pack, what, $15? No, yeah, here's a 12-pack. Yeah, here's 5 ecstasy tablets. No, man, it's cool. I don't know what those go for on the street, but I'm guessing it's a lot if you're giving them to every kid. You know? I don't know. Just don't forget, Halloween, check your candy, I guess. That's what they want us to do. Winners. College football. Bowling Green is not playing. So our guaranteed bet is gone. We just bet Bowling Green every week. But Oklahoma is playing Kansas, and we do like betting against Kansas. Oklahoma minus 40 against Kansas. Big line. We've bet big lines more than I've wanted to the past few weeks, but it's just too easy to bet against teams like UCF, Kansas, and all these awful programs. So we're betting against Kansas, Oklahoma minus 40. USC at Cal over 69.5. This one kind of scares me because USC could be on a little bit of a letdown game. You know, they just beat Utah. might come out sluggish. You know how we know about the letdown games. But it is the Pac-12. They score for fun out there. I just can't imagine this game being anything less than the good old-fashioned 42-35. I'm not saying USC's winning, but two good quarterbacks. Whatever, let's just do the over. Not a lot of good games this week, to be honest. Not a lot of good college games. I like to pick the bigger games. There really was not too many. I mean, Temple Notre Dame is game day this week. How miserable is that? I'm not waking up at 9 a.m. to watch Temple Notre Dame game day. No thanks. Next, Houston -12 against Vanderbilt. We love to bet against teams like Vanderbilt and Missouri. We love to bet on teams like Houston. So that's what we're doing. Houston -12. This was going to be close. It's going to hit right at like 14 if it does hit. 13. Vanderbilt, SEC defense, a defensive-minded coach. It could be close, but I'll still take the hot Houston team who knows they have to beat teams. They know they have to blow out teams. They can't. It's not like a team like Florida who can just get away with wins. Houston knows if they want a true chance at a playoff berth, they have to blow out teams. So, they're going to give it everything they have. And I like to bet on teams that are like that. Teams that are rooting for what I'm rooting for. Now, let's go to the pros, our specialty. 11 a.m. game, or 12 noon game, sorry. How about this under? Frisco and St. Louis under of 39.5. That is a ridiculously low under for the NFL. It might be the lowest I've seen in 5 years. But Frisco's a train wreck. And St. Louis has an incredible defense. And St. Louis offensively isn't that great either. They're going to run the football. St. Louis will run it about 40 times. And Frisco will just try and not. All Frisco does, if their own teammates don't get in fights, then it's a success. That's a small victory if the 49ers are not fighting each other on the field. So we're going Frisco, St. Louis under 39.5. Now, how about this line? Cincinnati, undefeated. They beat everybody, right? They beat Seattle. They beat whoever you put in front of them. How about Pittsburgh? What's the line? If you had to guess. Cincinnati -5? Cincinnati -3.5, 4? How about Pittsburgh -1.5? What? I don't know either. Roethlisberger might come back. If he doesn't come back, you got Landry Jones. I don't know how this line is like that, but I know it's a trap. And what do we do here? We bet against the trap. We see the trap. We see the Roadrunner, the Wile E. Coyote signs. We bet against it. We bust the Coyote every week. Pittsburgh -1.5. That's my 2 noon games. 3 o'clock game. Jets -3. Totally forgot who they're playing. I'm not going to lie to you. Let me pull it up right quick. The Jets playing Oakland. Oh my goodness, betting against Oakland. This is why. I love Oakland. You know that. And it's in Oakland. That's tough. It's tough to go out there for a New York team to go cross country. But, oh man, I don't know now. Now that it's cross country, I don't want to tell y'all something I don't believe. I do love Oakland. You know that. I'm going to stick with the Jets. This is why. Darrelle Revis shutting down Amari Cooper takes away what Derek Carr's got. Jets are good enough to keep it close. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It could be a push. It could be like a 2017 type game. So we're going Jets. We're going to stick with the Jets because I've said it now. I've said it. I believe it. We will it to happen. But, man, I do not like that road trip. I do not like the Jets leaving and going to Oakland. People don't think that's different. That's a killer. That's crazy. I mean, your body clock is all screwed up. Let's go Jets anyways. I just kind of talked myself into Oakland, but we're sticking Jets because I said it first. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay -2.5 against Denver in Denver. I just don't know if battle of the best offense versus the best defense, but I don't know. I mean, how good can the defense really be against someone like Aaron Rodgers? You know, I mean, this is Peyton getting into a gunfight with Aaron Rodgers, and Peyton lost his gun license a long time ago. You know, so we're going to go with Green Bay -2.5. Monday Night Football, Carolina -7 against Indy. It's at Carolina, which is good. You know, it gets Indy off the fast track. I don't think Luck's 100%. I really don't. Indy just has so many question marks, and Cam Newton and Carolina is playing so good. They cover every week. 7's a big number. I don't necessarily like that because they win these primetime games, everyone's on them, then they get a big number like 7, and they win by 4. So I don't necessarily like this number. Like I told you last week with Baltimore, I didn't like that big number. We took it anyways. We covered. This week, same deal. Could be another push. I would not be surprised at all if Carolina won by 7. If this was we just ate it. But that's what we're going with. Carolina -7. That is the show. Getting y'all out of here early. We talked about everything. We talked about winners, the NBA, the MLS playoffs, Halloween candy, drug dealers. We talked about it all, and me at less than 100%. But me at less than 100% is better than your local sports radio. Don't forget it. And if you want to hear me on more than just this microphone right here, let them know. Let your local sports radio know, hey, y'all might want to get this guy on the air. But for now, just download, subscribe to my iTunes. On iTunes, rate it, review it. It helps sort me with relatable podcasts, relatable sports podcasts. If my ratings are high, obviously it will get pushed up, and I will be indebted to y'all forever, and I'll come to your weddings. Just send me an invite. Thanks again, guys, for another successful episode of Out of Bounds. I am your host, James Skrmetta. Have a great and safe Halloween weekend. Don't do cocaine.